Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hamlin, aka the Laptop Legend, and today I made $1,370 day trading. Not an incredible day, but still a pretty decent day. And the main reason this wasn't like $5,000 was because I ran out of buying power really quickly because there were so many opportunities in the morning, and then I missed all the opportunities in the afternoon pretty much for going long because I had no money to go long with. So kind of stinks, but I want to make sure that you guys, yes you, can prevent forest fires. No, wait, that's not it. You guys are prepared for tomorrow because the market is actually getting hotter again. It really is, and it feels good because March was pretty slow. A lot of April was pretty slow, so hopefully it continues to speed back up. Normally summer months are pretty slow, but maybe we can get something hot, maybe just for May or something like that, and I would really love that. So I just want to make sure you guys are ready for tomorrow. There's a lot of stocks that I traded today that will probably still be in play tomorrow, and there were some new ones popping up that I want to make sure are on your radar. We had a couple of stocks that had some epic short squeezes today, so literally anything, whatever you're into, whether it's NASDAQ or OTCs, whether you're on Fidelity or Schwab or E-Trade, there will be something for you in this video, so please stick around to the end. Please smash that like button and please subscribe if you have not already because I make these videos every single day. So without further ado, let's dive into my laptop and look at some of these stocks. Also, kind of random, but I just had an update that TD Ameritrade and Schwab are not going to allow the trading of caveat emptor stocks anymore. So I want to go over that really quickly just so you guys can understand what that means and what effect it's going to have on you guys. Alright, so this is the letter from TD Ameritrade, and again, TD Ameritrade was bought out by Schwab, so I think that's why they're doing this change at the same time. But you can see here, as of May 25th, 2021, TD Ameritrade will restrict orders and caveat emptor designated OTC securities to liquidating only. So basically that means if you have them, you can sell them, but you can't buy any if you don't have any, or if you do have any, you still can't buy more. So basically all you can do is sell them, and it basically just means you can't really trade these anymore. And you can see there's a long list of securities, man. There is a long list of securities, and this means that a lot of these are going to get cut off. Now, you may be wondering, like, damn, is that going to mean that TD Ameritrade and, Schwab are no longer going to be a great option for trading OTCs? And in my experience, the answer is no. You're going to be fine. And here's the reason why. So if I go in, you can see that on the OTC Markets website, when it's that caveat emptor, it's going to have the skull and crossbones. And this is the worst level of sketch that you can possibly have. And these are the ones that are a very high suspension risk from the SEC, so you probably don't want to be trading these ones anyway. And if you have watched some of my previous videos, you know that if you're on Fidelity, you need to have a stock that does not have a stop sign or a skull and crossbones to be able to trade on Fidelity. So a great example would be OZSC. You can see it's pink, and it's pink current information. So even though it's an OTC pink sheet, you are allowed to trade this on Fidelity. Now on Schwab currently, or on TD Ameritrade currently, you're allowed to trade other stocks that are not pink current information. They have a stop sign because they are not current, but they're still not that next level down, which is the skull and crossbones of caveat emptor. So one great example is actually a stock that I want to talk about today. Actually, I mean, we literally had a ton of these today, but RETC, this is a great one. You see, stop sign, pink, no information, but you can trade this on Schwab. You will still be able to trade this because it is not a caveat emptor. So keep that in mind. Most of the good stocks where all the opportunities are actually stop signs that I've been seeing, at least the ones that are not available on Fidelity. They're stop signs, not skull and crossbones. So we should still be fine. And you can type in some of these, any of these. You want to throw these tickers in there. Tickles, whoo. But you can see, again, you got the skull and crossbones, and this is probably not one that you want to be trading in the first place. I mean, literally, there were a bunch of these ones that were running today. GVSI, that was running today. GGII, that was running today. All of these are stop signs, but they're not caveat emptor, so you should be fine in the most part, even after May 25th. And potentially E-Trade will still let us trade those, but honestly, I don't know that I ever really trade skull and crossbones because they're so sketch, and those are usually not the ones that are running. So keep that in mind, guys. But to actually get onto the stocks, I guess, that I want to talk about, let me go here. So first of all, for all you guys who are, I guess those degenerate traders, if you are into Reddit, if you are into Wall Street bets, if you are into GME and you bought it at, $480, you got some good news, actually. So you can see that it went up a lot today, and then it actually squeezed in after hours. Now, the reason for that is they completed their offering. So they announced an offering a while back. I don't remember exactly when it was, and I don't remember what the price of the stock was when they did that. I'm trying to find that information here, but I think they raised a good amount of money, man. I think they raised a good amount of money. So I can't see exactly how much they raised. I guess it says up to $1 billion. So I'm not sure if they actually raised all of those $1 billion, but that's a lot of money. $1 billion is a lot of money, and a company can do a lot with $1 billion. And basically the fact that offering was completed means that now there's not going to be any more dilution from this current share price, and they officially have all of that new money to move forward with their operations and get into whatever they want to get into. So whether that is getting into e-commerce for games or online gaming, like Steam type of deal, I have no idea, but apparently they got some cool new management coming in. So potentially GME could be turning around here. So it could see a nice little continued pop. Again, I don't personally plan on investing from these price levels, you know, but it could definitely get a nice little run here, break back above 200, maybe squeeze to 250. I don't know if it can break these levels here, you know, this 350 level. I have no idea. I'd be kind of surprised, but I mean, with the company turning around, I think it's definitely something that you need to keep on your radar if you enjoy trading stocks like GME, because GME was moving today, AMC was moving today. It felt like all the meme stocks were moving today. I had a nice short on AMC when it had a lower high here. I did get squeezed a little bit here, but I made it all back and more in these dumps, so that was pretty nice. But this could definitely continue tomorrow. Again, that was just a short-term trade. So those were, you know, kind of the main meme stocks that were moving. If you'll recall from my video yesterday, what was that ticker? Yeah, so MVIS. This stock, again, if I go, where is it? Right here? Is it right there? Maybe it's right here. Yeah, so it's right here. So you guys can see I drew this support line right here in my video yesterday, and I drew this resistance line here. And I said, guys, it's pretty likely that it's going to fail, but given that it's failed so many times right at this 19.5 area, if it breaks out over there, it's probably going to see a pretty nice breakout. And it did just that. Now, I wasn't sure if it could break this level, but it did. It ripped through this level and went as high as $27.8. That's pretty insane for that breakout. So this was a great long side NASDAQ trade, and it did keep making these higher lows here. I don't like trading these types of stocks, but I mean, this is pretty clean here. I mean, this is pretty clean. A couple buying areas where you could have bought are on this breakout right here when it broke out past this level, or when it keeps making a higher low and then starts bouncing. You could have bought here when it broke past those highs after bouncing here, risking off of making a lower low there. So there's a couple areas where you could have gotten in on this chart, but I think it's pretty cool, and it definitely squeezed hard, kept squeezing a little bit more in after hours. So this is now officially a multi-day runner. It's getting to the point where it is pretty overextended at these levels, and I would expect to see a big red day at some point soon, but it could run another day or two before then. We've seen some multi-day runners, and now that we're getting this momentum back in the stock market, I feel like the longs are having a little more pressure, and shorts have to be a little more careful. So we'll see what happens. I really don't know, but this is definitely one that if you're into NASDAQs, you want to be looking into trading. Also, OCGN was doing some weird stuff today. It was just very choppy. You know, it was holding up this level pretty nice and did not break down. So surprising lack of fading opportunities on this one, but never really broke out convincingly past this pre-market high here. So you can see it did break out past that, but then it just absolutely rejected. So this was a good sign. You don't want to stay long on this stock, but it never actually broke down below this pre-market support either. So there was never really a great opportunity to short this stock. So I mean, really, this was kind of just a no play in my opinion today, which was kind of disappointing. But I wasn't going to trade this one anyway. I just wanted to have it available so you guys can see it, because there were so many OTC stocks that were moving today that I mean, I had no need to trade this stock. So MMEDF, this is one that is uplisting to the NASDAQ very soon, and this one gapped up over $1 a share. Well, actually, when it okay. Maybe not over. It was up over $1 a share. I think it came back down and opened right in this area, but then just started ripping right to open. I, like a fool, shorted at 449 to start off, 1,000 shares, and I didn't cover because at this point it was just too many green. And I waited, and then I added another 1,000 shares right here. And I want to say like 491. And then I ended up covering it all at like I want to say 477, 478, something like that. So pretty lame trade. I lost, I don't know, like a couple hundred right out of the bat, right out of the gate. Pretty stupid on that one. And then just consolidated the rest of the day and did finish, you know, pretty decently. So this one, as it gets uplisted, I think it could continue to run. So this is definitely one that you guys want to keep an eye on. But I mean, once it's on the NASDAQ, it's probably off of my radar because I don't really like trading those stocks. But we did have a ton of OTC stocks moving today. So where do I even begin? Let's see. All right, so I feel like this is the one that I made the most money on today, GGII. This one, it gapped up, and again, this is a multi-day runner, and I talked about if it breaks out past this level here, this is definitely a good long. I talked about it in my video yesterday, and it was absolutely beautiful today. I'm trying to show a better chart there so you can see a little bit more. So again, this is up from 0.002, just like RGBP, and this one had another beautiful breakout, but finished pretty weak on the day. So I would personally expect tomorrow to be a red day and to break down under these levels, but I guess we'll see. Excuse me, I guess we'll see, but I made a good amount of money on some of these rips because when you get a chart that is just ridiculously strong like this and will not break down, that's a good sign that you want to be going long and chasing into this just because you can ride that momentum. And then once it turns, you know, once it starts coming back down, that's where you want to sell or even short a little bit if you can, and that's what I did. Actually, no, this one did not have shares to short. This one did not have shares to short. I correct myself on that one. So I actually only went long on this stock. I'm thinking of I believe the other one was GVSI because it actually did have shares to short. So this one did not have shares to short on Schwab, unfortunately, but there were a lot of opportunities on the long side, and there were some really, really great dip buys on this chart, and I nailed a couple of them really, really well. So this one, I actually nailed this. You can kind of see here. This had a little fake out, so I got in on the dip here and ended up selling here, and then I got back in on this dip, and I sold way too soon. I think I sold it all. Where did I sell all of it? Maybe in this area, 218 or something like that. So I ended up getting in at, I want to say 188 or 187, somewhere like that. It was definitely under 19. I ended up selling all of it by 218 and underestimating how high this thing could go. But there were a lot of great bounce plays, man. A lot of great bounce plays. And what I love about this is that it's such a cheap stock that you can buy a lot of shares for not too much money. So I was buying, 100,000 shares, and that is only $1,000 or $2,000 for a 2-penny stock. So that's pretty cheap. And every 1/10 of a cent with 100,000 shares is $100. So if you get a run from 19 all the way up to 2.4, that's $500 with 100,000 shares. I mean, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money, and that can really add up. And again, if I had my E-Trade account, once I get it fixed, my goodness, it's going to be game on because I would buy 500,000 shares there. Which is just crazy. This had incredible executions. It was like butter for me. So I just love this. This stock was absolutely great today, and so many opportunities, man. So many opportunities. So hopefully it's a gift that keeps on giving, like RGBP was for a while. But you got to be careful because now it's getting to the point where it's pretty overextended on this chart. Definitely up a lot, and probably sees a big red day tomorrow if I had to guess. But you never know. We'll see what happens. Probably going to be some bounce plays, maybe some morning panic opportunities, dip buying opportunities. So we'll see. But let's see what else. Yeah, so the biggest gainer on the day was RETC. This was up a lot, man. This was up 255% on the day, and it just feels like we're getting a lot of runners. So given what we've seen happen with GGII, with RGBP, with all these plays that are running multiple days in a row, GVSI, I want you guys to keep a close eye on this one. I feel like this could have been a pretty good overnight. I don't like overnights. You guys know how I am about that. So it is 2 green days in a row. So it may be a little overextended, but based on the charts that we've seen and how this closed right near the high of the day, big run up into the end of the day, I think this probably gaps up and runs a little bit more tomorrow, even if it's just a morning spike and then it goes red on the day later on. So we'll see what happens, but this is probably my #1 watch for tomorrow because once it gets over a penny, it starts getting really, really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this one does. GVSI is another one that I called out. Again, this is the George Sharp custodianship, and this really wasn't doing too much, but it did actually hold these support levels really well right in that area. So it really didn't break down much under that area. I guess it's, you know, kind of the 1.5 support area. So if it breaks down under that, it's probably going to be game over. A decent short from that level. This actually does have shares to short. But, you know, if it keeps running, man, it did consolidate pretty well in this area. So I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure what happens. I mean, maybe it pulls back down and goes, I don't know, 1.2 or something like that. So we'll see. But if it can continue to consolidate and not break down, this is definitely a long, because once it breaks out over this, again, it could run to 5 cents. It could run to 8 cents. It could run a lot higher. So you got multi 100% upside, but also you got a lot of downside. So again, don't turn into a bag holder on this just because Sharpie is in it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was really trading a ton today. I did trade some OZSC. I did trade some AITX, but those were not super great plays. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, so I guess AWGI moved a little bit in the morning, but this was just a big gap up and then just faded all day, so you don't really want to look at that. I guess the last one that really was moving today was CBBT, and this one I unfortunately got squeezed a little bit on. I got in too early. This thing just absolutely ran. I mean, what is that, almost 200% in one day. So, you know, I was shorting too early and got squeezed because this had pretty bad executions. And then I made it all back on the short side, but it was pretty much break even, so all my work for nothing. So this is one that I would have rather been longing if I had more buying power, because this was another one of those ones that literally just kept pushing on up and would not come down. It just would not come down. So keep an eye out for these guys. Just absolutely beautiful chart. I love to see this much volatility. When we have multi 100% moves in like very small stocks, you know, 3 cent. If you can get in with big size, my goodness, you can make a lot of money. I mean, seriously, guys, you take 100,000 shares at 3.5 cents, call it 4 cents. That's a $4,000 position, and you can easily make, you know, 100% on that. I mean, this literally ran straight up. If you wait until it dips, you know, more than 3 cents, 0.3 of a cent a share, I mean, you're selling this up here in the sevens. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. That $4,000 in I don't know, 30 minutes on a $4,000 investment, $4,000 profit. That's crazy, guys. I mean, you can make a lot of money on these stocks. And even again, you know, if you're more conservative, like I would be, you know, you get in at, say you get in at 5, man, and you take 100,000 shares and you lock it in at 6. You just made 25% in like 10 minutes. So it's crazy. I love the potential of these stocks. And you guys really gotta stay banked on. The last one that I want to throw out there was ILUS. Shout out to whoever called this out in the Discord. I forget who it was. I didn't have this on my watch list, so I didn't see the news. But someone called the news out literally the second it came out. You see the huge spike in volume. They called the news out. I took like 10 seconds to type in the ticker, and it was still like right here at 9:45. So I could have probably bought 100,000 shares here at 9:45 and sold it, you know, up here if I had a lot of buying power. But again, that would be a $9,000 position, which uses way too much buying power when I don't have infinite buying power. So until my E-Trade is open, I will have to hold off on plays like this. But it's just cool, man. It's just cool to see. We pretty much always have a spiking news play, at least one per day, pretty much. So definitely want to take advantage of that. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. So I will be watching all these stocks. RETC is probably my biggest watch. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much it. I guess HMBL, one more. You know, HMBL had some sell-offs here. I almost got stuck long in this overnight, but I figured it out. But it had some great flipping potential. Again, just like how I talk about doing it. When there's big walls of buyers and sellers, but there's like a gap between it. So say in this case, you know, this is 148, this is 146. In this case, there's a big wall of buyers at 146 and a big wall of sellers at 148. You can easily flip buying 1,000 shares or whatever you get filled halfway between the bid and the ask. So if you wait for it to downtick and there's a seller at 147 and a buyer at 146, you buy at 146.5. As soon as it upticks and there's now a buyer at 147 and a big seller at 148, you sell it. Wait for it to downtick again and then buy again. And I did this over and over just from the short side. I mean, $20 here, $20 here, $20, you know, over and over and over. So it really does add up, guys. So you can take advantage of those plays. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, you made it to the end. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I need something cool. I forget if I already showed you that poster. Maybe you guys can see it. That's me. I'm staring at myself. It's kind of weird. It's probably creepy. But again, as we were talking about today, I'm glad to have you guys, because if I'm just sitting in a basement alone, talking to myself all day long, without you guys to keep me company, staring myself in the face, man, it would be weird. It would be weird. So appreciate you guys for keeping me sane in the Discord. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, you know the drill. Let's grow better together. Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.